But he's also founder of a social enterprise, BCM Tutors, which he founded in response to the educational challenges posed by COVID-19. And this enterprise provides free peer tutoring worldwide. And he's very active on social media, like LinkedIn and more channels. Jack, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm very nervous. If we go on to the next slide. I've only got 15 minutes, which isn't long. So I do other things, but I think I want to represent teachers, because I am a practicing teacher, a full-time teacher. And I think it's really important that teachers are represented here. The problem is I can't represent teachers. Teachers are diverse. I am a secondary school teacher, a humanities teacher at an international private school in Gran Canaria. So I don't represent South African teachers. I don't represent primary school teachers. And I don't even represent the maths teachers at my school. I represent me, and just like with AI then, generative AI, ChatGPT, I think you need to reflect on that. And whatever I say, treat it cynically. Be critical of it. What are my biases? Because I can only speak from my personal opinion, which we go on. And I'm going to tell a story, typical of a teacher. The question we want to say is, well, how will AI change education in the near future? I'm going to take you to a class that I teach, 11D, Business Studies, that's IGCSE 16-year-olds. There's 25 in my class, not many compared to many of the other schools around the world, and it's private school, so I'm pretty privileged. And I'm going to tell you about 3 pupils individually. They're not their real names. There's Pablo in my class, ADHD. He's a kinesthetic learner, he loves running around, he loves jumping. And the educational psychologist says that he deserves 25% extra time on all tests. 25%. So when he does his summative assessments, he has to have 25% extra time, and he has his own room to do it in. I've also in that class got Eva. Eva is old-fashioned term, but gifted and talented. She devours every piece of work I give her. She's a logical learner, and she has enormous parental pressure. Mum is Spanish, because I work in Spain, doesn't speak any English, and is desperate for her daughter, from the age of 11, to get into Oxford University to study medicine. These are not exceptional stories, these are standard stories in the school. I'm sure we all come across these. And then finally, I've got a new student who's called Drishti, and she was bullied at previous school, which meant she was absent from school a lot. And she's come into our school. Her written English is good, but her spoken English is minimal. And she's desperately nervous. And she comes into my classroom, the door fine. Now, how do I get on with these children? Now, if you're a school inspector or if you're my headmaster, you come in and I do a good job. I've taught for a long time. You'd see my lesson, you'd see differentiated worksheets, and it looks like I do a good job. But the reality is I don't. I don't. I have 25 children in the class, not 70, but I have 25 children. And the reality is I teach to the middle. And I have limited time, really limited time to do that. If we go back. Why don't I do that? Well, Pablo, I know Pablo wants one-to-one. He wants me to be talking to him, and I know the thing he's really interested in is Real Madrid football. If I sit down with him and make every example about Real Madrid, then he's fascinated and I can get his attention. But I can't do that amongst children. Ever. I know Eva finishes the work quickly and she needs to be stretched and have meaningful worksheets. She needs the time for me to explain to Mum the difference between Spanish and English systems. But I have limited time for that. Pablo, again, going back, he needs that 25% extra time. Well, that's a day, pretty much. I can give up my lunchtime but as a teacher. I barely eat lunch most days anyway, because I don't just teach 25 children, I have 200 children. So I can recommend it. Also, every other teacher is saying, come and see me at lunch to catch up this time. So, how do we do that? The third, Drishti, how do I do with her? Well, she practice at speaking English. But if I talk to her directly in a forum of 25, she's going to be mortified, being embarrassed. I need one-to-one talking time. It's a real challenge. So do I succeed? No. These children go to a private school. So they look to tutoring to solve the failures of myself and the other teachers that teach. That doesn't come as any surprise though, and I'm sure you've all heard of this, but Bloom's two-sigma problem, 1956 he did his go in. I'm not a researcher, I can't quote the validity of it, but I do know it by experience. He did this study and he said that one-to-one tutoring works. If I was speaking to you one-to-one, I'd be far better at it than I am now. But I'm not, I'm talking to a group and I'm nervous. And he said, it makes a two standard deviation difference. It takes struggling students and makes them average students and makes them good students and makes them excellent. One-to-one tutoring works, is what he's happened.